Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all my friends across the world, across the Earthship. I'm Cindy Carter, and I am an intuitive healer, a teacher of holographic healing, and a spiritual consultant. I am bringing these podcasts to you as a series of information based on spiritual alchemy and the understanding that you can alter your alchemy of your life to become more beneficial to yourself and others. It's about well-being and your commitment to yourself, to understand on many levels that you are all that you need, and you can continue your exploration through the fields of your own energy and focus of your own energy. And that's why we come to today's topic, which is called the self-induced living hell. And I came up with this one today because of the last couple of weeks of clients who have come to me with some pretty severe emotional and mental upsets. It's like they created their own living hell. They did, in essence, and in alchemy, and in electric science. They created their own living hell within the mental body, within the mental and emotional body, and the combinations of light that are interceded between both of those. And so if you are in a self-imposed, self-induced living hell, and you say you want out of it, well, everyone wants to look outside of themselves to find the way out. And it's the exact opposite of that. You look inside yourself to see the way out of your self-induced living hell. Because when we look outside of ourselves, we're actually looking at the way life is according to the construct of other humans and human ideas. You live and have lived your life through the human constructs of other people's ideas every day, all day long. So this is where newness of an idea, of a perception, has to come into play, where we can look outside of our mental body, outside of our emotional body, and truly look at the constructs around us and within us that are based in trauma or pain or anxiety, and where the fields of love, harmony, peace, and joy live within you. So the constructs of others that were built by, not you. What if the reality was then an understanding that you could add to the consciousness of reality through your ideas and your senses of life? So what if your senses weren't blown up in mental abuse, mental emotions, traumatic ideas? What if you were more harmonic and peaceful? You would be adding to the consciousness field of humanity, peace and humanity, peace and love, peace for humanity. It would all roll back to peace for humanity if you were rolling peace through your body. Even if you have traumas in your body, they get released quietly into the universal fields or into the universal grounding fields of Earth. So we're going to ask ourselves, what are we participating in as a construct on Earth? Are you here to play out the scripts of others as a society, as a family unit, as a town, as a county, as a state? What construct, what parameters, what borders are there for you? See, your spirit body wants freedom for yourself, freedom to experience all that you can be, and we can't really do that through the constructs of others. See, we're looking for freedom on an earth. This might feel like an elusive quality when someone is in mental turmoil. That's why I'm trying to discuss this on a level where maybe someone could sit and quietly hear my voice at a time when they're maybe not traumatic, not emotional, where maybe they're at peace and can hear my voice better. If you listened to my voice in this transmission at 3 a.m., you might feel it differently than at 5 a.m. in the middle of rush hour traffic in your mind. You see, you create the rush hour traffic in your mind whenever you attach or latch on to the plight of others, the constructs of others, the influence of others. Even if you were triggered by something and it was solely your own to trigger, you have the ability to change how you feel and look and perceive at that. These are the building blocks. Literally everything that you experience, you think, you feel, and the energy of all that is just another building block for the universe. Everything is part of a universal construct. And everything is part of you in a different essence, in a different light. So this universe has been under control of others for a very long time. The construct was very manipulatively held, where they were trying to transform humans into beasts, into superhuman computers, basically genetic zombies with erased genetic memories. You all know some of these beings on Earth. But we're understanding now there's a different way. If we had empathy for ourselves, compassion for ourselves, we would say no to that construct. That doesn't align with what my heart would want for my soul, what my spirit is directing me towards. To have compassion for yourself or others, what if there was the lack of compassion? You're having the lack of compassion for the trauma and ideas and beliefs and epigenetic markers in your body. We've talked about these in all my other shows, which you can find on my website. I've talked about epigenetics, and I've talked about the auric field and all the anomalies and miasms that can be filtered through and around these that affect your mental body, affect the whole process of the energy field of you. This is affecting your ascension. It's affecting your ability to be life on a planet. You're spinning away from your core essence, your God source connection when you are in your mental body, when you're in your emotional body. You're a blend of all the bodies, which is called harmony. This is a science. I am not talking just fluffy, nice words. I don't know. I could give you the science behind it, the quantum physics behind the alchemy. But the God source molecule within you is there for you to unearth, for you to be aware of. So what if we forgot our true frequencies for a while? That's okay. That's kind of how it worked here. We've been plopped down here through all this roller coaster ride of energy fields, knowing what's ours and what's not ours and what's our responsibility and what's our victimhood. And now we have an whole understanding that our spirit consciousness is alive and well in every layer of our being. And if we were to look at life through every layer of our being in that way, we would be able to see our true frequencies, feel our true frequencies, and be our true frequencies. You wouldn't be the traumatic one, the disconnected one. Because the disconnected ones right now, the ones disconnected from their spirit, from their God source, have not allowed their consciousness to arrive in harmony, and therefore it's going to be displayed in, we're seeing it everywhere, but it's going to be displayed in grandizing ways, egotistical ways, narcissistic ways, lots of suffering, views of suffering and victimhood and pity for the plight of others. These disconnected souls on the earth, well, they're based in their non-truth. They're just basing in the construct outside in themselves. It's like they step into the construct of others. I am in the construct of others. I cannot connect to my soul at this moment. Because now I'm in the construct of others, I'm going to have to take on these other ideas, which might be egotistical or might be narcissistic, and then might have to add some alcohol, some dependencies, some codependencies to make myself feel better in the constructs of others. I know I feel better when I'm in the construct of myself, but right now I can't really figure out what that is, people are telling me. They're basically looking at everything else but themselves. They are sending their telescopes out of their bodies instead of inside their bodies. This disconnection is the abandonment that so many people feel on such a deep cellular level. This is what most of humanity and all sentient life are going through. This abandonment where we feel abandoned by our lovers, abandoned by our friends, abandoned by our families. Why? So we could feel the idea of lack. So there's a full understanding on both sides of the spectrum. You are living in duality. These understandings and awarenesses must come to us at some point in our soul's progression. So here we are. Life creates life. The idea that you could now go back home to life as a thought form, as a construct that has no construct. Life is an essence. Life is not a form. It's a process. So this field around us that we feel abandoned in, well, we as a humanity have felt abandoned like this for probably eons. The field around us and around the earth is filled with extraneous activities of the mind and material assets and acquiring possessions and maintaining power, or the opposite of that. All the non-harmony things like giving up and the lack of power and lack of personal resources and, we just need to calm the mind, calm the body. We do that with a compassionate heart, and we love the one that's disconnected. Love the one that feels the self-loathing, the self-harm. They're falling from their own grace as their own savior. They can't ever be saved by another. This is what they're not looking at. Looking at the construct outside of them that's here to save them. We have been given a savior as an entity on an earth that was misconstrued as a savior for others. Really, it was just as an example for others. So let's just be okay with that. Compatible, chosen paths. Let's be compatible with what the earth is doing. It might make your ride a little easier. So the path that earth has decided is the best is the crystalline path, the path to become a star. So this too shall be the path of all sentient life. To choose life, ascending qualities, and upward movement towards the rarefication of our frequency, the rarefication of our mind. So the disconnected ones may find this a really difficult area to be in, difficult place to be in, as all the things genetically are starting to shift and alter the molecules in the mind, the body, the soul. It's trying to align and harmonize with an earth, with a new place in the cosmic fields. This means body discomfort and mental anxiety and emotional uproar. The body and the mind shakes, rattles, and rolls. This path, the crystalline path, is not the easiest one. But we chose it. We're here right now. We're life in a body. I choose life. And perhaps I need to alter my beliefs about my life and let go of what I desperately feel like I'm trying to hang on to. Trying to figure out who the old one, who the old me is. The old you is the same you, with new eyes, new awareness, just expanded, rarefied light within you. Allow the new awareness. Go ahead and mourn the old you, your old life, and let's move forward. I mean, just dimension hop right through a dimension of this part of your life that you choose the suffering. For God's sakes, the grief is no longer needed. Just love the one that's grieving. Because collectively, the collective fields understand what we transmit and what we put into the earth, into the fields around us. So let's transmit as much benevolence as we can. It will dissipate the negative fields within you. And you become rarefied light, more comfortable in a body, more comfortable with your family, more comfortable with your friends. You're not going to piss off everybody in your family every time someone says something that really just tricked you. It's not necessary. Everybody has their own opinion. You're not here to force the opinion of others. You think you've been given too much power, I'd say. You can enforce many things with your power. What if you enforced the energy of yourself first? Back to benevolence. To recover the source truth within you. It's like a recovery effort. It kind of brings to mind those gold scavengers, the pirates, the gold pirates that go out into really rough seas. And they batten down their hatches with really seaworthy vessels. They're looking through the turbulence and looking through the turmoil of the seas and looking for this wreck where the core elements of gold, the bullion, the essence, the purity is, the bounty, the beloved. So it's time to set sail on a recovery effort, you could call it, to find your gold within you. It's there. It's not going to be there while you're trying to save another person, trying to save another being. So let's allow the forgiving waters and the forgiving sun to shine upon you and love you through the change and altering of you back to the core essence of you, the one that was disconnected from the gold source of you. Let's bring up the bounty. Let's haul it up out of the seas and bring it all the way around you, bringing yourself back through the self-imposed hell, through this living hell of your own creation. You're not the victim of your circumstances. You're the victim of your own mind and your thoughts of disconnection. False ideas are rampant in the minds of many right now, and as a collective, we don't need it. We need to purge the most heinous crimes, atrocities, and traumas out of the field. And this includes your mind. It is the self-induced living hell that we create in our minds. It's an individual process that creates a collective living hell for others. So we need to choose the responsible action of bringing peace to the mind and peace to the soul and quieting the energy field, to heal a mind and a body and a soul. This will heal the consciousness of a humanity just by little old you stepping out of your self-induced hell, out of the constructs of others, and into the universal fields of your freedom, and into the bright light of the essence of your spirit, directing your life, directing your mind, directing your body back into harmony and peace with yourself and peace with your family and peace with your life. This is all possible right now. And as you do this for yourself, it ripples and it consciously changes the fields of the archon streams around us. The fields of the multidimensional presence of you changes on all levels. If you change it here on an earth, you're changing your future trajectory and you're healing your past by channeling the highest information for yourself, for healing yourself in the kindest, loving way right now. Stop putting your mind to an outside source. This is self-responsibility. Buckle down and do the work. I feel like I'm talking to several of you right now that are just spiraling out of control. This transmission today was not meant for you that are diligently on the path, feeling harmonic in what you're feeling and loving what you see. This is meant for the ones that are struggling so hard, the ones looking outside of them for saviors, the ones trying to convince others of their truth. We can't do that now. This is an individual process. Go back to yourself, go back to your body, and let's ground it into the earth's field. Let's feel the peace within us, because we can be peaceful people wherever you are, what community you're in, and watch that ripple. If we each individually do this, this is how we save an earth, one individual at a time, by saving yourself. This is compassion. This is the technology of compassion. I could show you diagrams. I could show you transmissions. I could show you ancient alchemy, all related to what I'm talking about. I just want you to feel it. Your mind doesn't need to know it. Your creator God status doesn't need to understand it. And your warrior needs to put down its shield, put down its sword. This is a very direct transmission to those of you that have a hard time doing that. I'm telling you now, it's not serving you. It's not serving your future life. And you think you're doing good, but you're just extenuating the victim status for others. Come back to ourself. Allow yourself to be the freedom that you know you can be. Be the peace and let it ripple outside of your heart. Loving yourself and loving your environment loves the people around you. They will change. You will change. You will alter into a higher awareness. It's a physicality change. It's an awareness change back to the pure essence of you. I know you can do this. Shambhala is here. It's in your mind, body, and soul connected to the earth. It's not just in your mind. It's just not in your heart. You have to combine all of them to bring Shambhala in your body. Nirvana in your body. Creates a ripple field of harmony throughout all the layers of you. And isn't it peace that you were looking for? Isn't it to be without all the trauma on earth and to feel the pain of others? No. We're here to feel only the love for ourselves and the love for others as they make their choices through life. Loving and forgiving yourself through all the choices you've made in life. As we do this, we bring Shambhala into the field around you, blossoming like sunflowers in a big open meadow. So with that, I'll say I hope many and all of you will do the work and commitment that it takes to clear your fields of victimhood, clear your fields of warriorship, and clear your fields of the Creator God status, because it's no longer needed here on earth. We love you, and you need to love you back to the beloved that you are. Many blessings.